Hello and welcome to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be going over Ethereum versus Bitcoin and a very profitable fractal that I'm seeing. So we're going to be talking a little bit about how fractals work in markets, how it specifically is potentially going to play out here with Ethereum, and how I think this can be a very, very exciting move coming in the markets. So this video is going to be very informative. Make sure you smash up that like button for me right now and hit the subscribe button with the notification bell, because I am uploading 5 videos a week on my channel all through 2020 to keep you guys informed and posted in the markets. If you guys haven't watched my video yesterday, make sure that you check out this altcoin chart will make you rich, because I go over the altcoin total market capitalization, and this is a very, very juicy and informative video. So make sure that you click on that one as well. So let's just go ahead and get straight into the Ethereum fractal analysis. For you guys that do not know what a fractal is a mathematical sequence. And when you look at the mathematical sequence and you zoom in, you can actually see the same pattern in all of the smaller parts as it's making in the bigger parts. And so it's a fractal, meaning that it doesn't matter what size you're looking at it, you're going to see similar patterns appearing. As you can see, this circle right here in the center, and then you have a smaller circle in front of it, and a smaller circle in front of it, and then an even smaller circle in front of that. And so it's the same pattern, it's just a different size. And this happens with markets as well. So fractals for me are a very, very interesting thing. They are so beautiful, and they often appear in nature. They also have just a very, very cool look to them. You can stare at these things for a long time, and they're very beautiful to look at. So I really, really appreciate fractals, and I even appreciate them more inside of markets, because inside of markets they give you an ability to make money. And so that's really, really awesome that you can use math and a mathematical pattern to actually make money in the market. So in this specific case of markets, you're seeing a fractal of human emotional patterns. And so humans do the same things. It's just when there's a bigger body of humans, it's going to repeat the fractal. It's just going to be a bigger fractal. And so for the example of Ethereum, we have this, and this is Ethereum versus the Bitcoin pair. We have this whole thing that happened right here, okay? This is a market cycle from this low right here to this peak right here, and then back down to this low right here. It's a complete cycle of human emotions. And that right there is also a fractal pattern. And so this right here, there was people that knew about Ethereum, but there was not as many people that know about Ethereum now. And so if we look at from this low to this peak to this low, you can see how much bigger this is. This whole market cycle right here is much, 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 much bigger. And that is because there's more people. And so it's the same emotions, the same pattern of emotions is playing out. There's just more people this time. So the fractal, the mathematical sequence, the pattern of human emotions is bigger. And sometimes what you do have is you'll get like a really, really small fractal like this, and then you'll get a bigger fractal, and then you'll even have another fractal come in that's similar to the other two fractals like this, and it does like a similar thing, but it's actually smaller, and that's like a preparation fractal. And that preparation fractal takes it to an even bigger one of these. And the reason for that is because although there's more people that know about Ethereum, the awareness of the traders is still a pretty small amount near the bottom. So the whales start picking it up down here and make another little version of this, and then it goes on to make a bigger version of the same pattern. And so you just get these repeats of fractals, of patterns of emotions. We've seen this in Bitcoin as well. When Bitcoin went up to over 1100 per coin, or around 1100, and then fell back down under $200, and then went up to 20,000, and then fell back down to 3.2. It's like the same exact fractal, the same exact pattern of emotions that happened in the Bitcoin market, just on a bigger scale with more money and more people in the second time around. And this is what I'm seeing in Ethereum as well. So these patterns, these fractals can be very useful. One of the things that you can actually see here is that this pattern consists of downward pointing resistance and downward pointing support. So let's see if that happens over here as well. And look what you see. Resistance, 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 downward pointing resistance, and downward pointing support. So that's a falling wedge pattern as well. Now you can see that this one's small and this one's big, and so what we're really expecting to see here is some type of breakout pattern, a little bit of an accumulation, and then a repeat of this entire fractal of emotions. And so with the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, if it is indeed alt season, like I suspect, like I ran over in this chart in yesterday's video, make sure you go check it out. I also posted this on my Twitter. Huge shout out to everybody that follows me on my Twitter. This post was doing very well, and it makes me happy to see a lot of people getting this content and getting this value and people seeing it. So make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. Go like the post that I made about altcoins and share that so we can get as many people to be aware of the potential profits as possible. So this right here, I think that if the Bitcoin dominance continues to reject like we've seen over the last little while, then I really think that it's very possible for us to get another repeat of this fractal in the Ethereum Bitcoin pair. And that would be a very profitable venture if you're an Ethereum holder. And one of the things that I really like about this pattern is how much volume is coming in near the bottom of this downward pointing support. If we can get a nice breakout and a nice spike in volume once we get above the major horizontal resistance of right here, since this is a pretty big resistance point that used to be support. Once we get above that, I would like to see a volume spike come into the market to really confirm. But I mean, with Ethereum, you know, this can be a spotlight. And my buddy Donovan at DIY Investing talked about how the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, like this right here, the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, looks very similar to the altcoin dominance. So when we look at the altcoin dominance chart like this, and we look at what's going on with altcoin dominance, you see this little market cycle play out right here, and then you get this huge pump up and then the retracement. I mean, obviously there's other altcoins involved, so it looks a little bit different, and there was coins that existed before Ethereum did, so you've got price data before, back into the past, that we don't actually have with Ethereum. But overall, this is the same kind of cycle of emotions, and what we've started to see happen is we've started to bounce off of this low. So what I really want to see to confirm that the Ethereum is going to do that is for the altcoin dominance to have a breakout and resistance of 34%. That would then make altcoins start to trend on the upside versus the Bitcoin pairs, and that would give us time, that would give us the fuel that we need to spark this fractal playing out in Ethereum, and for us to see another impulsive move even versus the Bitcoin pair in the Ethereum markets. So that is what I'm expecting. You guys watch those resistance levels. That horizontal resistance level is really around 0.032, and watch that altcoin dominance. We could get, I was expecting, honestly, you guys, I was expecting one more low in the altcoin dominance, just because, you know, the trend is your friend, but we've started to bounce up off of that and head towards resistance. It's still kind of in a 50-50 spot, but if we can get above that resistance in the altcoin dominance, this may be the bottom of the dominance for the altcoins, in which case alt season is coming. And by the way, Bitcoin does very well during alt season. It's just that there's certain altcoins that do perform better than Bitcoin. But it's still very smart to hold the majority in Bitcoin because it's the most stable, and altcoins a lot higher risk. They move quicker and then fall quicker. So you really want to make sure that the majority is in Bitcoin, and that when you're playing the alts, you're playing them as a way to accumulate more Bitcoin. And that is the most effective strategy in the market. So if you guys learned something about fractals today, and if you've been enjoying this video, smash that like button for me right now, along with the subscribe button and the notification bell, because you will continue to get 5 videos a week, along with a podcast every single Friday, the Moon Boy podcast. I know some people like to call me a Moon Boy. I don't care. I actually chose that name because people like to call us Moon Boys. Just wait until the entire market breaks out and blows everybody's minds, and it's actually good to be a Moon Boy after the market retraced 80% on Bitcoin and 90% in altcoins and completed a full market cycle and are in disbelief. So yeah, I'm a freaking Moon Boy. I don't care. I'll ride it. I'll own it, as people like to say. So yeah, like this video, subscribe, comment down below where you're tuning in from in this beautiful world, and I will see you guys in the Moon Boy podcast tomorrow. I appreciate and love every single one of you guys, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. As always, stay profitable out there.